Yeah, hello, welcome back. Today I have a secret attic. I think that's how you pronounce it, attic. Anyways, here's a pretty normal house, and then if you go up to this little trapdoor by the bookshelf, there's a secret button. When you press it, a staircase comes from the ceiling, and it'll lead you up to your little man cave, or, I don't know, your secret room. And if you have, like, people that you don't want to follow you, you just press the button from the inside, and it'll close it back up. And you can do whatever it is you do in your man cave. But when you're ready to leave, you just press the button again. Come down here. Then if you want to close it from out here, press the secret button again. And it'll close up just like that. So this is a pretty easy build. Let's just jump straight into it. So here's the staircase without all the blocks surrounding it. And it's not the smallest thing in the world, but it is still pretty compact. It isn't seamless. I could make it smaller, but the reason I made it like this is because other versions have the pistons like that, and I don't know, to me, seeing the piston face is super ugly. I was like, yeah, no, I really wanted it to be blocks. I'm okay with this. This looks okay to me, but seeing the slime block, or the slime thing, is just so ugly. So yeah, pretty much how it works is there's a triple for this one, and it pushes everything to the side. Let me show you in the back. Just a single piston that pushes this down, and in the middle it's a double piston extender. So yeah. Also it uses fence technology, which I will explain later, but yeah. So really easy build. This is pretty much everything you need, and you do have to have a fence. It could also be like a wall or a glass pane, but I'm just gonna use a fence for the tutorial. Ooh, one more thing. I totally forgot, but the ceiling, when the stair blocks are here, when they come down, it's actually the ceiling blocks, and so you have to have a ceiling that can match it, or else it'll, I don't know, it won't be very discreet. So you can use out of like all these types of blocks, wood, stone, and whatnot, but if you use something that's not, it's going to be kind of obvious, so yeah. Okay, to start off, first and foremost thing is the ceiling has to be 3 blocks tall, because that's how far the stairs will come down. It won't go any lower. So that's just the first requirement. Then what you're going to need is a 3 wide by 7. And then I think it's 4 blocks tall. Yeah, 4 blocks tall. And that's how much space you'll need. To start it off, let's just put in our stair blocks right here. So if you break out the middle 3, put down 3 stair blocks. And this will be the front one. So it'll be here, and then the second one will be there. Okay, so we're going to go to where the first stair block is. And we're going to go up 4 blocks, break these, then go 2 sticky pistons facing straight down. You can break the top one. So there's going to be 1 block of air right there. Diagonal on the left side, we're going to go and put a sticky piston facing straight down diagonal to it. And on the left side of that piston, an observer facing straight down so that the arrow is looking like that. Now take out your normal piston, and on the left side of this observer, you can point it to the right. And then we're going to count 1 block from the stair, and then have another normal piston pointing to the left. Take your note block and place a note block on the leftmost piston right there, and a normal block on top of it. Then we're going to go to the back of this, have a block like that, and another one diagonal. So this is all on the left side. You're going to build like a little staircase thing. Take your redstone dust and build down like that. Then we're going to look at the redstone dust now, and we're going to put 3 observers facing towards the right, just like that. We're going to go underneath the very first one, go down 2, and then pointing to the right of this one, we're going to have an observer pointing there. Take out your observer again from this sticky piston, where the red dot is. You're going to have another one pointing straight down like that, and then on top of this observer, pointing to the left. So they're both pointing into the same block. If you put a block in front of that, and a block diagonal to that. Now take out your repeaters, place one here, on top of this observer, pointing away, set on 2, and on the blue block, another one, set on 1. And you take out your normal piston, and from where this blue block is, you're going to put one pointing straight down. And then we're done with the very first layer. For the second layer, I'm actually going to remove these blocks here, because they kind of get in the way when building. Then you're going to take out your normal pistons, and from where this weird staircase thing is, you're going to put a piston here, underneath the block, and one right in front of the block. Now if you take out your sticky pistons, you're going to go from where this piston is, have one facing straight down, and another one right next to it, and an observer facing straight down underneath that. So it'll look like this. I don't know how else to describe it. Then you're going to find this observer right here, right next to the staircase thing. Have it read towards the back, and then towards the left. Now you're going to put another observer right from where the red dot is, facing straight down, and pointing to the left, just like that. Take out a piston, and on top of this observer, you're going to point it towards the blue side. This is the left side. We're going to put it right on top of this observer, facing towards the blue side. And you're going to take a block, place it right in front of this observer. Now you're going to have to put a sticky piston here, and a normal piston on top of it, just like that. Last step of the second layer is we're going to go to where this blue block is and the piston. We're going to have an observer facing straight down. It's kind of diagonal to the blue block like that. And on top of the observer, you're going to have a repeater set on 3. So it's going to point away from the blue block into the observer. Redstone dust right underneath the observer. This is 1.16, so make sure it's not a dot. It has to be the cross. And then put a block on the left of the cross. Okay, before we go on to the third layer, we're just going to put in our blocks. So right underneath this sticky piston, we're going to put a block there. In front of this sticky piston, a block there. And right underneath the observer dot, block there. Then we can begin the next step, which you're actually going to need the floor again. Put in the floor. And then put in our staircase, if I can get it, so it'll look like that again. This is the last layer. It's pretty easy. From where this blue block is, a sticky piston pointing to the left, and another one. If you look in the corner, you can face it straight down, a sticky piston. Then if you take out a slab, place one on from where this red dot is, slab on the top layer, and another one there. Redstone dust up, and a repeater here. And then we're going to go, you hold shift, you can put a sticky piston like that. So you have to hold shift. And then take an observer, and you'll point it into this piston. So the arrow will point into this piston while in front of this sticky piston. Okay. Now we're going to build like a little frame for when you walk through the staircase. So on the opposite side of this piston, 2 blocks like that, and a block above the piston, and then one right in front of that one, so that you can build like a little archway. Okay, and we're at the last steps. We're going to go to where this blue block is on the left side. We're going to have 2 observers facing straight down, a redstone dust right underneath the observer, and a repeater pointing into it. All this does is just make it point into a line, not have it as a dust. Then you're going to take out your fence gate, or your fence, place it on top of this observer. And we're actually entirely done with the door. You can test it now by taking a button. I'd recommend using a stone one and put it on this block right here. This is on the left side of the door. When you press it, you should be able to see. Yep, there it is. And press it again to test if it closes correctly. Okay. So another cool thing about this, you can also power it from here. Pretty much, you can power it anywhere on this blue staircase thing, and it'll work. But another thing is, the staircase is also extendable. So if you want to keep going, you want it to keep going up higher and higher, and hard to build, you totally can. And the archway just gets 1 block higher every time. But another thing I would recommend doing is make sure you remove this observer when you put in the arch like that, because if you break this block, it'll mess up the entire door kind of. So I would recommend removing that before you build your archway. And yeah. And the last thing before I go, let's say you want to hide your buttons, you know, behind a trapdoor like I did. Let's say that's where your button is, right? What you're going to do is you're just going to build a path for your redstone dust. That should work. Path for the redstone dust all the way until it connects with these 3 redstone dusts right there. Then you can press the button, test it. And, there you go. And if the button is too far away and it's not working, it's probably because you just need a repeater somewhere in the middle. And it's the same thing for the other side. If you want to connect it from the other side of this, oh my gosh, I'm struggling. The other side of the staircase, just build another wire that connects it to the blue wires. And there you go. But anyways, thanks for watching.